Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words and become much more articulate. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about how to find your calling. Your darkest point will lead you to your calling. A couple of weeks ago, I was watching this video on Twitter, which was very bizarre. It was of these two guys beating up another guy. I continued to watch the video and I started to understand the context. This guy that was getting beat up, he was trying to meet up with an underage girl, and the two guys that were beating him up were posing to be that underage girl. Yep, this is the new type of content that is going viral, where creators are luring in potential predators, and they're not just ratting them out to the cops, but actually beating them up. If you go on Twitter, you will see a lot of content like this. And one of the most famous creators that have been doing this is a brand called DAP, Dads Against Predators. And one day I was on YouTube and I saw this Vice documentary that had those two creators that were beating up the predator on their thumbnail. I clicked that documentary and I started to watch it. As I started to watch it, I started to understand why these two guys did what they did. And what they do, it's very risky because their recent acts of beating up predators have sparked an online discussion on vigilantism. Is this the right thing to do? I mean, should you take matter into your own hands when police officers are not doing their job? It's a pretty big cultural moment right now. So I was watching this documentary and I was curious about how DAP was born. It's made up of two members. One of the guys, he was telling his story. He said that he trusted this one guy with his two daughters, and this guy molested one of the daughters. After that happened, he could not live with himself. And once he tried to go to the cops didn't do anything about it. That is one of the members from DAP. The other guy, he was molested when he was a youngster, and he felt so helpless. And he wanted to make sure that no one ever felt helpless like him, and no one ever took the innocence of a kid. So both of these guys, they got their calling of shaming these predators from their darkest moment. Now, whether you agree with this or disagree with this is besides the point, their message and how they're going about it. The main thing to understand is that often the times that you are at your lowest, you will have so much pain, so much strong emotions that those emotions, they cannot simply go away. What it needs is a vehicle. A lot of the best speakers out there, you will see that they became the best speakers because there was a moment when they choked a speech. And this was a big speech too. This was recorded. This was one of those speeches that was at their brother's wedding. All their friends were there, and this person made a Freudian slip. And afterwards, all people could talk about from that wedding was that Freudian slip. And this guy, he felt so much pain because he was so nervous for the speech. He spent 3 to 5 weeks preparing for that speech, all for it to be forgotten simply due to one Freudian slip. Come on. It was a dark moment. But that moment eventually led to his calling, where nowadays he has learned public speaking to a point where he can teach it. Your darkest point in life will often lead to your calling, as long as you're not trying to run away from it. You need to get familiar with the pain. You need to sit with it, and you need to see, what can I do about it? Is there something to do about it? As soon as you start asking yourself questions like that, your brain will produce answers that you were never aware of before. So if you're going through a dark moment right now, go through that dark moment, and eventually it will lead to a calling that is much bigger than you, and hopefully it will impact the world for the best. If you enjoyed today's talk, be sure to drop that like for me right on below, and I will catch you next time.